Tell me about what was going on before you decided to do the 30-day transformation.
Before I decided to do this, I was having a lot of physical body pain.
Hmm.
My hormones were really off. I was having my pitta was inflamed, so I was having really dry scalp. My hair was falling out.
Mm.
I just felt really out of balance. And I was trying to gain routine into my life. And I was trying to stabilize my eating patterns. So
Hmm.
I would start eating healthy for 2 or 3 days and feel really excited about it. And then with my job, I would get lost in it and just, all of a sudden I'm
Yeah.
eating onion rings again.
Yeah.
So I was really struggling to pull myself out. And I felt like I just needed support and
Hmm.
something to be accountable to and a little bit of structure. Um, and having done a lot of cleanses in the past, I knew that I needed something with a little bit more substance in it, a little bit more able to eat more food,
Yeah.
uh, nothing that was restrictive, like juice cleansing or some of those cleanses when you just
Yeah.
eat some capsules and you fast all day. It's just not my thing.
Then
I
you're
get emotional.
grumpy and you're like, I want real food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's where I was coming from. And when I saw your website that you were leading a nutritional cleanse or like, I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
I edited that
Like a superfood reset, gut health transformation.
Yeah,
It can be called different things.
I felt very inspired when I saw this. Um, and I just felt like I needed to jump on. So I thought about it for a month before I signed up. And then after trial and error, I decided to do it. And I'm kind of really glad that I did.
Tell me more about that. So what are you really taking away from this, and maybe talk about a little bit of like your process through it, and like maybe some very quick takeaways and some that you weren't expecting.
Well, I was not expecting my scalp to balance out and my hair to be nice and beautiful and my scalp is now like dry, my hair stopped falling out. It's just really nice. And then I another thing I had was my emotional level balanced out. I was really emotional with my hormones going really high. I was having irregular menstrual cycles.
Okay.
Um, and that all started to kind of clean itself and balance itself, which allowed my mood to shift, which
Totally. That's
then,
amazing.
yeah, and that also allowed my sleeping patterns to become more stable.
Hmm.
I was staying up really late watching
Hmm.
TV shows or not being able to go to sleep or tossing and turning. And when I started doing this program, the routine kind of helped me realize um, to go to bed earlier and get up earlier, which is what I love to do. I love to do my yoga practice in the morning and then, get to bed like right after sundown to kind of have a good
Yeah.
full 8, 9 hours. So this helped with the regimen of like when you wake up, you take your shake, you take your aminos, your biomedic. That really helped me get going in the morning,
Yeah.
and I felt a sense of presence within myself, like aware of my body and do I need to eat a flex meal now or can I go and do my yoga first? And it kind of
Great.
helped me intuitively listen to myself.
Mm-hmm. That was one of my biggest takeaways too, was when I first did this like 3 years ago. It was like I could, like what you just said, you can make that connection. Like, I'm full. What do I need? I'm not hungry right now. Where before I would just mindlessly eat and or grab something. And most of the time I probably just needed water, or maybe I just need to check in, but that connection wasn't as clear. So I noticed that like satiation, not even full, but feeling satisfied and satiated was like very clear.
Mhm.
I could make a better choice, and like it was faster.
Yeah, it got much easier and
Clearer.
clearer. Yeah, and that allowed me to recognize that I have had, well, I kind of known it, but it really brought it to the surface internally is that emotional eating pattern
Yeah.
that I had.
Hmm.
I was just diving in deep to it. I was really stuck in there. And
Yeah.
so doing this really allowed me to, with the regimen and the routine of that beautiful journal, that I printed and used. I love that journal. It helped me see when I was eating, what I was eating, and because you kept saying no deprivation, I love that. It was like a freedom for me to feel satisfied and eat when I needed to eat. And
Yeah.
because I knew that I had the choice to do that, I was
Mhm.
able to work with that emotional eating pattern. It wasn't like, no, you can't have anything, but it allowed me a space in there to move and say, are you hungry now? Where is that hunger coming from? And
Mm.
yeah, the fact that there was freedom in there allowed movement. So I'm very aware of that.
I
And I
love
felt,
that because of the freedom and allow things to like flow and move. And you could choose not be like you're taken over by the emotion.
yeah, so the
That's
choice,
that's massive.
yeah, it was really big. And I'm so grateful. And I was like, I just kept saying, no deprivation, no deprivation. And just
Yeah,
that,
harmony, 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 not
yeah,
depriving.
I'm not depriving myself. This is for like giving life to myself.
Oof,
Um,
powerful. Yeah.
so I worked with that a lot. And because of that, I hold a lot of emotional baggage in my body,
Mm.
right? So I had been just internalizing and not really releasing and letting go.
Mm.
What I realized is I just shedded 7 pounds, you know, not intentionally. I mean, I knew I was holding and I
Yeah.
was getting bigger and, making not good choices. But with the program, having cleared all that emotional baggage I was carrying within myself and being really strict and stern, softening, recognizing like my self love, having compassion for myself. It, and then I just lost 7 pounds. My clothes fit better and I feel more light and free and
Balanced. It just sounds
balanced.
like it just balanced you out like in so many levels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love hearing that. And like you're glowing and you just seem like excited for what's
I'm
next. I mean,
very excited. I'm looking forward to continuing with the core four, or I get overexcited and I found all the little, oh, good for your eyesight, good for your hormones, good for your
yeah.
nails, and so I'm excited to continue on and just keep a practice going and
Yeah.
incorporate the food list in those recipes,
Hmm.
incorporating that in my life often, so that I can keep on that. It seemed like no sugar and no processed carbs and stuff like that, kind of keep in my superfood habit,
Yeah. Yeah.
eliminating all the junk.
Yeah. And once in a while, you have some junk, but
Oh,
it's like on the regular, your baseline is so like, how you're going to feel. You like the ritual of like starting in the morning with this,
yeah.
eating from these lists. It's not depriving you. You're choosing like energy foods that are going to really like sustain your energy throughout the day and feel full, not bloated or tired. That's another thing. Like, the foods are like you said, live like it's life. So
Yeah.
it's and then that ritual before bed, it's like the apothecary, it's just like boom, you get that antioxidant component, and then like you wake up awake, not groggy. I don't know if you noticed that, but
Did I wake up? Well, let's first start. I go to sleep. I drift off into like this sweet slumber. I'm just asleep and I don't even know I'm falling asleep. It just
uh
naturally happens. Love it. Because
so
before I was
good.
cycling, tossing and turning. This, I just put my head on the pillow and I'm out. And in the
Yeah.
morning, I wake up so early, like 5 to 6 a.m. And
Uh-huh.
I do all my morning practices because I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm ready to start this day. And I just go for it. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I don't even need an alarm anymore. I'm
Yeah. Oh
so
my
excited.
gosh,
It's
that's
like,
huge.
woo!
That's huge. Aw.
Yeah.
Um, great. Anything else that you can think of or you feel
I'm
complete?
kind of all over the place here, but there's just so much that's happened. But my pain body,
30 days. It's like,
yeah, in 30 days. But one other thing is my pain body has, I would say it's 80% pain free now. Yeah,
wow.
needed to say that because that was huge for me. I don't know what I have, but I have this thing where my muscles get really tight. I'm like, what do you call that? When you can, I'm hypermobile
For
in a lot of
mobile.
my joints, but I have really tight muscles and I have hip had, I don't even like to say it that way, but some stuff going on in my hips, and it was very painful for a long time. And I have to say it's minimized, that aspect. I have days where it doesn't hurt at all.
Oh,
I still have to do, stretching and
yeah.
incorporate other stuff, but this has just allowed my body to feel more peace, more not being in pain allows me to do other things. So
Yeah.
I think that the superfoods and just the elimination of sugars and carbohydrates and stuff like that helps a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Inflammation, the inflammation went down.
Yeah. Yeah. And so many folks who come to me about this and talk about like body pains or like phantom things going on where doctors can't really figure out what's going on. So they're going here and there and there and there and blood work and this and that. And then I'm like, just try this thing and then see. And they're like, I don't have pain. I can like walk now for miles and I'm like fine. I don't have like my ankles don't hurt or I'm not as swollen as long, things like that. So it's that's also, yeah, there's so many benefits and it sounds like you're reaping all of these benefits and fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
made a clear intention to go for it. So
gosh, I love it.
oh,
Yay.